Hey guys, welcome back to Money Talks. And I'm so happy to be here with you on this next episode. Today, we're going to talk about how you can stop living paycheck to paycheck. But first, if you haven't already, please click that subscribe button as well as the bell to be notified when I upload new videos. And if this is your first time here, go ahead and leave a comment. I do my best to respond to every comment that is left. Now, one of the things that is really plaguing our society and economy is the fact that 78% of Americans live paycheck to paycheck. And what that really means is all those people, if they lost their job, they would not be able to survive for at least a month. They don't have that amount of money in cash reserve. So for some people, that could be $2,000, that could be $1,500, whatever the case may be. You cannot. So if you cannot survive, if you lose your job, and you don't have the money in the bank to cover for at least 1 month's worth of bills, you're living paycheck to paycheck. But the good news is you don't have to always live this way, and there are things you can do to help yourself get out. The first thing I like to share with you is the mindset shift. Yeah, you do have to change the way you look at your money. You do have to change the way you evaluate what's important. And that it means the mindset shift. The mindset shift really happens when you understand truly what your needs and versus your wants are. Your needs in order are your shelter, your food, your clothing, and then a vehicle. Those are your needs. Those are things in very, very basic essentials that are needed for you to be able to survive. And in that order, meaning you have to have a place to stay, then a place to eat, or something to eat, not restaurants, but food, groceries, then clothing, and lastly, a vehicle to be able to get back and forth to your designated job. Once you understand those are your needs, then everything else, like a cell phone, like Hulu, like cable, like all these different, anything other than those four things are essentially wants. And so it really helps you understand, hey, if I can't make it month to month, or if I was to lose my job today, what could I cut out? Well, you separate your needs, those four things: your shelter, your clothing, your car, your food. You separate those four things, and everything else is a want. What things am I willing to negotiate, even just for a little while, get rid of for even just a little while, just so that I can put a little cash buffer in? The second thing you need to do after you establish that mindset shift is you need to get to a place where you're actually paying your bills on time. And the reason why I say if you pay your bills on time, more often when I've worked with clients, they are able to actually see when their money is coming in. If you're paying your bills on time, that means you're even more aware of the fact of what's coming in and what's going out. So it's very, very important to really pay your bills on time. Now, this oftentimes when you first start budgeting and start developing that spending plan can be a difficult thing. So what I always suggest people to do is first, just write it out. Write out what your bare reality scenario is. When are your bills? When do you get paid? And look at your budget. Then second, when you're looking at paying your bills on time, look at, hey, am I really running short in the month? So based off when my income, my salary comes in, am I paying everything at the beginning of the month? Are those due dates stacked against me and I don't have enough cash to get to that next check? That's where paying your bills on time, you need to actually look and evaluate and then actually discuss with the people you have bills and expenses with, hey, can I get these due dates changed? Getting your due dates changed is to help the cash flow, meaning help even out when you can get cash. Because if you're able to get $300 or $400 total in the month extra, but then every 2 weeks divide that out and have 150 every 2 weeks, that will help you move a little bit better financially, and it will help you avoid taking on more debt. So it's very, very important that you understand that you need to pay your bills on time and how you can get yourself to pay your bills on time, because ultimately this will add value and add action to you not living paycheck to paycheck. And then lastly, you really have to establish the fact that you need an emergency fund. You really have to establish the fact that you need cash on the side. You always, always, always should be saving. And the reason why you should be saving is because life and priorities will shift. Life and priorities will change to where you need cash on hand. And when you don't have cash when you need it, that's where you take on more debt. So it's very, very important that when you're shifting your mindset and when you're changing your bills and changing on due days so that you can pay your bills on time, it's more important that you understand that you're doing all that so that you can now focus on having an emergency fund. And part of you paying your bills on time includes the fact that, hey, I'm saving, not just putting in a 401k, but I'm saving in a savings account every month. This is priority. This is what will get your financial foundation under control. Because once you have 3 to 6 months of expenses, or once you have even 2 months of expenses set aside, you are no longer actually living paycheck to paycheck. And to be honest, you should be happy about that because that's progress. That means you're moving your finances in the right direction. And ultimately, you can change your scenario where you're not dependent on debt, but you utilize it as a tool to help you grow for those needs. Again, I definitely appreciate you guys tuning in, and I can't wait to talk to you guys again soon.